Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving straight into the gritty world of digital forensics. We're going to explore exactly how modern investigators unravel the digital footprints of cryptocurrency using open source intelligence. If you've ever wondered how analysts track down cybercriminals, uncover hidden assets, or follow the money across decentralized networks, you're in the right place. We're breaking down the exact investigative workflow used by the pros, step by step. Here's our roadmap for the workflow. We'll kick off with the OSINT intelligence landscape, move into mapping the attack surface, then get into the actual tracking of virtual currencies. After that, we'll open up the investigator's toolkit and wrap up with archiving and ethics. Let's get to it. All right, Section 1, the OSINT intelligence landscape. Let's lay the groundwork.
Before we can track a single digital coin, we really need to understand the environment we're operating in. OSINT stands for Open Source Intelligence. In a nutshell, it's the collection and analysis of information gathered strictly from public open sources, transforming that raw data into actionable intelligence. And the coolest part? You don't need classified, top-secret clearances to do this. Even non-professionals can use freely distributed tools to uncover what feels like highly confidential data simply by knowing exactly where to look.
Now zooming in a bit, a crucial subdiscipline for us is FinInt, or financial intelligence. This is where we analyze massive volumes of financial data to understand networks, track shell companies, and flag money laundering or fraud. It's the bread and butter for law enforcement and regulators. Adopting this FinInt mindset, meticulously following the money, is absolutely essential before we even peek at the blockchain. To structure our hunt, we rely on the MITRE ATT intake matrix. Think of it as a globally recognized playbook of intruder tactics, broken down into 14 distinct stages. Attackers use it, defenders use it, and we are focusing purely on stage 1, reconnaissance. This involves active scanning, collecting host and user info, mapping network infrastructure, spear phishing, and combing through open websites. Basically, we're building a comprehensive profile of our target before they even realize we're on to them. Moving on to Section 2, mapping the attack surface. This is where we start zeroing in on our specific targets. You know, people often assume cryptocurrency is this completely anonymous black box where money just vanishes. But that's a huge misconception. It's actually a highly structured web of trackable data points. Starting right at the center with a cryptocurrency wallet, we can trace outgoing and incoming transactions. We can follow those hashes right down to the block level, track them through intermediary wallets, see if they hit exchanges, or even trace them into mining pools. Literally, every single node in this structure is a potential breadcrumb for an investigator. Just so we're all on the same page, let's formally define what we're tracking. Cryptocurrency is a decentralized digital medium of exchange. It uses cryptography to secure peer-to-peer transactions without a central bank or authority pulling the strings. Because networks like Bitcoin are decentralized, they don't have those traditional intermediary fees. But crucially, because transactions are unregulated and non-refundable, if someone steals your funds, there's no fraud department to call to reverse it. Tracing the public blockchain data is quite literally our only recourse to find out where those assets went. At the very core of this system is the virtual wallet. Now, a wallet isn't just one single address. It's actually specialized open-source software that groups multiple digital addresses together. This is a vital concept to grasp. One user, or one suspect, can hold numerous addresses simultaneously. So locating their digital wallet is often the very first domino to fall and uncovering a massive web of previously hidden transactions. All right, Section 3, tracking virtual currencies. Let's actually follow the money. When we look at the broader OSINT framework, digital currency is just one branch among 32 different search objects. The real magic happens when you see how everything connects. We never just look at a Bitcoin address in isolation. We use this framework to link that digital currency back to physical, real-world identifiers, IP addresses, domains, usernames, emails. All it takes is one tiny operational security slip-up on a public forum, and boom, a pseudonymous wallet is suddenly tied directly back to a real-world identity. But, of course, cybercriminals know we're watching the public ledger. So here's the big question. How exactly do we track assets when a target uses a tumbling service or a mixer to intentionally launder funds and break that chain of traceability? Well, the answer lies in data visualization. Investigators use advanced analytical software to generate directed graphs. These are visual maps that literally connect the dots between wildly complex webs of incoming and outgoing transactions. By mapping this out visually, we can actually follow laundered funds right through the tumbling process. These graphs help us mathematically track an asset to its final destination, proving that even when funds are deliberately mixed up to hide their tracks, they still leave a digital trace that a skilled investigator can untangle. Theory is great, but let's talk application. In Section 4, the Investigator's Toolkit, let's crack open the software. Here's a breakdown of our essential investigative suite. For domain and IP lookups, we're relying on tools like Shodan and ZoomEye to view an organization's IT infrastructure from the outside, pinpointing open ports and services. For crypto tracking, platforms like Blockchair and Wallet Explorer are absolute lifesavers. Blockchair is fantastic because it lets us query across multiple virtual currencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name it. Wallet Explorer helps us take one known address and uncover the whole wallet, revealing all the hidden associated addresses. And finally, we cross-reference our findings with vulnerability databases like Have I Been Pwned to see if any linked emails or passwords have popped up in public data leaks. Once we've gathered our digital clues, we've got to anchor them to the physical world. That's where public record databases like voterrecords.com and White Pages come into play. If our digital forensics uncover a name, an email, or even a rough geographical location, we can query these massive databases to find physical addresses, political affiliations, and even relatives. Best of all, our web activity can be fully logged and encrypted, so we can get all this intel without introducing risk or tipping off the suspect. Okay, moving to our final phase, Section 5, archiving and ethics, because all this data means nothing if we can't legally use it. We have to follow a rigorous standard for evidence preservation, pioneered by elite investigative groups like Bellingcat and the Syrian Archive. Step 1, securely collect and download the data, because web links break and things get deleted all the time, a frustrating reality known as link rot. Step 2, establish an ironclad chain of custody by hashing the file to create a unique digital fingerprint and timestamping it to prove it hasn't been tampered with. Finally, Step 3, we centralize all this data in secure encrypted storage. This guarantees our open source evidence will actually hold up under the intense scrutiny of a courtroom. So your documentation has to be completely meticulous. We're talking exact screenshots, raw URLs, raw chat logs, and cross-verified metadata. But listen, while you're investigating others, you have to protect yourself. Maintaining strict operational security and anonymity using encrypted comms is non-negotiable. Plus, we absolutely must comply with data privacy laws like GDPR in Europe or CCPA in California. Handling this process correctly is literally the difference between a cybercriminal walking free on a technicality or successfully going to prison. And that brings us to the ethical core of this entire field. Our source material frames it perfectly. I always ask myself if there is any way a target could argue a reasonable expectation of privacy. Just because you can find data using open source tools doesn't mean you can throw common sense out the window. Being a good steward of privacy is absolutely crucial for maintaining public trust and making sure our investigations remain ethical and legally sound. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. The blockchain is a public ledger. It is permanent and it is completely transparent. In an age where almost every single financial transaction leaves a permanent digital fingerprint, how will this balance between total transparency and the fundamental human need for personal privacy redefine the future of investigations? It's a massive question for the years ahead. Thanks so much for tuning into this explainer. Keep exploring, stay curious, and always remember to document your findings.